Hey everyone, Zell here, and today we're back in Destiny and we're going to be looking at the Bad Juju exotic pulse rifle. Once again, I'm redoing this guide because this did get a big overhaul and a lot of things changed with it, so I wanted to review it once again to bring you guys the best information I can. Now, if you're looking to get this weapon, it comes from an exotic bounty called Toland's Legacy, and to complete this bounty you need to do a couple things. First, you need to complete a weekly heroic or nightfall strike. After that, you bring the journal that you got to Akora Ray, and Akora tells you to do 25 additional strikes. Once you complete that, Akora tells you to go to the gunsmith, which he tells you to go to Xur. And once you go to Xur, you had to buy a darkness-infused weapon frame for 1 strange coin. Once you do that, you had to go back to the gunsmith, and then he tells you to get 10,000 points in the Crucible. To get points, there's a certain method to it. Titan and Hunter kills or assists are worth 25 points, and Warlock kills or assists are worth 75 points. Once you accumulate 10,000 points, you're able to finally obtain the Bad Juju. And that's how that quest works. Now, what is the Bad Juju and how is it best used, and what do you best use it with? So let's get into this guide, starting with the flavor text as we always do, and it does say, if you believe your weapon wants to end all existence, then so it will. And that is from Toland the Shattered. Now, before we go into anything else here, what were the changes to this gun on December 1st, and what made it a better gun than it once was? First off, the magazine size was increased to 24 from 15. That means you have 3 extra bursts within each magazine, which is helpful. The ammo inventory size was increased, and then the String of Curses buff, which is its final unique trait, decreases the cooldown of your super on each kill, which is actually huge for this gun. It makes it so much easier to do a lot of things with this gun. And finally, the big green effect at the tip of the gun has been reduced to not block your first person reticle. Now let's get into this gun and see what it has and why it's nice. First off, we have the rate of fire, which is very high, the impact, which is pretty low, the range, which isn't the best, but you can upgrade it later, then the stability and reload are both very good. Now, looking at what this gun does, the first trait that it has is full auto. This is a trait that you get from obtaining the gun. Like, as soon as you obtain this gun, you can get this and it will be fired in full auto mode forever. On the first tier of upgrades, we have smooth ballistics, which is less recoil and penalty to range, soft ballistics, which is less recoil and penalty to impact, and smart drift control, which is predictable and controllable recoil, penalty to range. And on the first unique upgrade, we have hip fire. This weapon has bonus accuracy while firing from the hip. Then we have a damage upgrade. On the second tier, we have armor-piercing rounds. These iridium core rounds overpenetrate targets. Their mass makes weapon handling slower. That's pretty much what that does. We have Send It, increases range and accuracy, and finally, perfect balance. This weapon has extremely low recoil. And for its final unique trait, we have String of Curses. After each kill, the weapon will reload instantly and increase damage for a short time. Kills will help charge your super. After that, we have 4 damage upgrades going for us. And why did I choose what I did choose on these tier upgrades? Well, on Smooth Ballistics, the less recoil and penalty to range doesn't really affect your range that much, as you can see. It really doesn't. Your range was hardly even touched, and your impact stays at a decent amount. And the other upgrades, I just don't find it worth it, because you'd either reduce your range too much, or you'd lose some impact. So those are the 2 other choices, which I don't really find as good. Finally, on this one, we have armor-piercing rounds, which allows you to shoot through small walls, or thin walls, rather. However, the mass slows down weapon handling, which means that to actually fire the gun, it takes a little bit longer to do so. And then the other choice would be Send It, which increases your range and accuracy. Having extended range might be helpful for you if you don't really mind the impact. And the range does come with increased accuracy, so your accuracy is going to be better to compensate for the extended range you'll be shooting this gun from. However, I did not go that route, and if you do go that route, it's not a bad route, it's just a different alternative. I think it's 50-50 between these two. The extremely low recoil probably is not worth too much. So let's get into using this gun and see what it can do. First off, as we start, let's make sure to use our super so I can actually show you how much that does. Because this now increases your super bar quite quickly. So let's just start shooting things here. So what it means on the String of Curses is that it will always reload as long as you're killing things. Which, I don't know how many rounds I shot off there, but it was quite a few. Also to mention, if you do reload that manner, it does not look like your ammo goes down at all, which is really, really handy. And as you can see, out of those few kills, we almost have all our super bar back. which makes this gun very handy for just having your super at a moment's notice, which is helpful for quite a few classes. And this gun is best used for horde mode, meaning that if you're having a horde of enemies to fight against, like in the Awaken the Hive quest, this weapon is perfect for you. However, this weapon does not do that much damage, and to compensate for that, you need to have some heavy damaging weapons to back this up. You're not going to be using this weapon on a boss. You really would not. And the reason why you wouldn't is because it just doesn't give you anything for that. You don't get any benefit for attacking bosses with this weapon. You actually get a whole bunch of things that don't help you at all. So make sure you're carrying a fully loaded rocket launcher, LMG, shotgun, something that does a hefty amount of damage for you. Fusion rifles. You need to have some damage backup so that you are actually effective against the boss in a raid or in an instance. Now with that, that's pretty much the guide, and that's what I would recommend with using this gun and how to use this gun. With that increased super regeneration, this gun has become a really good gun. I might start using it a lot more, and I'm probably going to upgrade it when the Dark Blow does come around so I can get the best benefit out of it. Because I'm thinking that the Hive raid will have a lot of things to kill, because the Hive are very mob-heavy, swarm-intensive enemies that try to overwhelm you out of sheer numbers rather than tactics. So the Bad Juju might be seeing a lot of gameplay soon, from me at least, if my assumptions are correct. And that was my guide on the Bad Juju. If you did enjoy the guide, if it did help you out at all, please rate, comment, subscribe, and if you do subscribe, you'll be subscribing to more daily Destiny videos on guns, armor, things that are interesting, a whole bunch of different stuff. So stay tuned for that. And if you did enjoy the video, please throw a like on the video because it supports what I'm doing here, and I greatly appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. So if you do, thank you in advance, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.